Guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 5 on DraftKings is here, and we're going to take a first look and try to build a tournament lineup based around a double stack and a bring back and correlation and everything else, and put a secondary stack in there and try and find some value to get us the best opportunity that we can to try and win a tournament. This is a lineup building exercise. This is not a final lineup, so do not try and take this lineup and put it on Sunday. It will probably be totally different because of injuries and values that will pop up throughout the week, but I love doing this exercise every single week because it helps me get an overarching first look at the slate where no projections are out. We don't really know where everything is, to try and utilize everything that we have learned so far and all the biases and things that we have in our this defense is what we want to attack, this is where the team totals are, and we see how it the week shapes up to be as it moves along. So thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and let's go.
He's a legend.
The Smiz Gang Listener League is going to be up. It is not up just yet, but it will be by the time this video is posted. So go to smizzle.tv/links. It is a $10 entry fee with 3 max and absolutely no rake. The best tournament that exists on DraftKings every single week. And I will shout out the winners on the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel with the recap video. That is already up on the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel. So go there and check it out. It's in the link tree as well, smizzle.tv/links to enter that, to follow the fantasy football channel, to join the Discord, and all those other really, really good things. So go check it out. Let's take a look at what we have on this slate. We have the Baltimore Ravens against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is gross. Ravens -4.5. Total of 39, low scoring game. No idea who the quarterback's going to be for the Steelers, if Pickett is going to be back or if he's going to be dead. The Ravens defense, the Ravens offense is not playing as fast as we wanted them to. The Steelers offense, not really great. Blech. The Lions are at home, which typically leads to good things, but they're running the ball a metric ton right now and are favored by 9. So I'm not expecting to do much different in terms of their approach to this week. Dolphins favored by 9 and at home. 49.5 in this one against the Giants. Good luck, New York. Coming off of a loss, dealing with that offense. Good luck to you. You're going to need it. Texans defense is going to do what they can to try and stop Bijan. Favored by 1 at home, 41.5 in that one. New Orleans Saints traveled to New England, 39.5. Are you starting to see how slow and sloggy? We're into the bye weeks now. 1.5 point favorites. Slow, sloggy, bully ball type games with offenses that are just not efficient at this point. Colts at home against the Titans and favored. 43 total in this one. Eagles against the Rams, total of 50 here. Eagles favored by only 4.5. Monitor Cooper Kupp's injury. He is reputed to be starting practice again this week. I don't know if he's going to be ready to play in the game this weekend. If he does, we will have to make some assessments as to what that is going to cause with the Rams offense. I think Puka is going to be fine, play a ton of snaps and still get a lot of targets. Kupp is going to return to his target market share, typically around 30% of the Rams target market share, as soon as he's back to playing a full complement of snaps, and we don't know if that's going to be this week or not. I think that the guys who suffer, Tutu Atwell is going to play a smaller role. Van Jefferson already playing a small role. They are going to be the two that are going to see a lower, a massive downgrade in terms of snaps and touches. They're more manicured and manufactured touches as opposed to just being out there for all of them. Cardinals are 3-point underdogs to the Bengals, total of 44 there. We'll see if the calf is correct for that one. The Jets, Zach looked good last night. Denver Broncos 2-point favorites over them in Denver, and the Chiefs square off against the Vikings. 5.5-point favorites are the Chiefs. Good luck figuring out who else is going to get the ball in that offense. The best offense that is the least DFS friendly in the 13 NFL seasons that I've been playing this game. I have never seen a team this good that does not have like anything that we can predictably know where the ball is going outside of like Travis Kelce. Minnesota Vikings, a carnival. We'll see if this game goes completely bonkers, and it should. And I think that if you're going to stack this game, there's 2 ways that everybody's going to go. Okay. One, I feel like stacking Mahomes is going to be difficult, not because he's not great, but because if you're going to stack Mahomes, everybody who stacks Mahomes is going to use Kelce. And after that, it's a complete crapshoot, dart throw. Good luck figuring out which guy is going to get 5 or 6 targets because they all just kind of get a floor of 2 and a ceiling of 5. And there's a million guys on the team that get out there and run around, including but not limited to Jerick McKinnon. Isaiah Pacheco finally scored more than 16 fantasy points. I think that he makes for a solid bring back if you think Kansas City's going to play from ahead in this one, just like the last couple of weeks. But even he is not playing 70+% of the snaps. We're getting some usage for like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 15, 16 opportunities in that game, and then back to 4 in the next one. Like, so even if Mahomes hits and Kelsey hits, you're going to have to beat a lot of Kelsey and Mahomes. So I think that the way that a lot of people are going to go is Minnesota side. It's extremely pricey to do something like this and then pick a second guy in that stack. Osborne, 2 targets last week, 3 the week before. Addison, no targets last week after following a great amount of the target market share. At running back, Madison got 18 opportunities because people were so worried about Cam Akers and the 7 opportunities that he got. Reminder, very few running backs get 90+% of the snaps and touches for their team. Even Christian McCaffrey ceded some snaps to Mason yesterday, but it was pretty clear that he was going to be the main guy. Kyron Williams is another guy who gets a ton of looks right now because there just isn't anybody else. But even Ronnie Rivers got like 10 opportunities yesterday for the Rams. So no, don't worry about the guy behind the guy. As long as the guy is the guy, you're not worried about the guy behind the guy. Have you not joined our Discord yet? Why not? Go to smizzle.tv/Discord if you wanted to become a member of that Discord and to get access to the VIP rooms and the cheat sheet, which will be out on Friday afternoon. You must become a channel member here on YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch. You can go to smizzle.tv/join. It's $5 a month. Head into the Discord, follow the instructions in the instructions folder, and link your 2 accounts so that you can get access to our 10,000 member Discord, where you can talk about daily fantasy ideas, lineups, strategies with everyone in the Smizz Gang community, as well as get access to the week 5 cheat sheet on Friday. So very predictable ways that everybody's going to want to go. I think that the contrarian route would be to go with TJ Hawkinson. This is all stuff that we'll sort out as the week goes along, and we have player percentages and everything else. But I'm going to build this around a secondary stack that seems pretty powerful. We're going to spend an awful lot of salary on this, which means that I'm going to have to find some value somewhere else. Already talked about Mahomes. Can't really afford a double stack that's going to be a high price one, so we're going to find a budget one, but let's talk about them first of all. Hurts and the Eagles, one of the higher totaled games on the slate. We said this one was a total of 50 right now with the Eagles and the Rams. The Rams, plenty of bring back opportunities between Kyron, Puka, possibly Cooper Kupp. Value one at tight end with Tyler Higbee if you chose. We know that Hurts has an elite ceiling, that 30-point plus game that we're looking for out of quarterbacks. You need to have that top 5 day from a quarterback. You need to have, if you're going to win a tournament. Cash games, totally different, but tournaments, you do want to isolate to these games where guys are going to have 30 plus DraftKings points. Lamar Jackson might not be in that role this week because of the situation. Tua Tagovailoa is always in that position. 2 weeks of the year he has been meh against New England and at Buffalo. 2 weeks this year against kind of softer defenses, 30 plus DraftKings points, and yes, he has dragged multiple receivers along with him in those games. If you want to play him at a little bit of a discount versus the higher salaried players by 700 to 1100, totally fine with that. I'm probably going to be tying Tyreek Hill to every one of those stacks. Probably not going to use Devon Achane in those stacks as well. Anthony Richardson threw the ball 25 times in a loss. I'm going back to my single stacking of Richardson. Love the fact that he's running the ball. I double stack all of my quarterbacks unless. And the unless is tied to the Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson role of they're not going to throw the ball more than like 20, 25 times a game. That's their plan. This was a game they were losing by like 2.5 touchdowns. They were down early. They were down a lot. He was not being accurate with his passes, only completed 44%. We understand that that is in the realm that he can go with, but they want to run the ball with Zach Moss. They want to run the ball with Anthony Richardson. He's going to give you a really solid floor. And I do believe that based on the offense that they're running, he can carry one receiver with him. Whether that receiver is going to be one of the tight ends, that receiver that week is going to be Pittman or Downs. That's up to you to decide where you want to go, and clearly have a bring back player on the other side. And there's at least 3 on Tennessee if that's the route you want to go. Jared Goff, massive favorites in this one. I think that people are going to flock to the running backs, which means that anytime you have a high total and a player who's got home road splits over the last, 5 years that Jared Goff has shown, playing a contrarian Jared Goff stack when they're going to have a team total somewhere around 27 on the week seems like a pretty fantastic idea. They do get Jamo back early from his gambling suspension. I don't know how much he's going to play this first week, but fantastic usage so far for Laporta. We've seen great games from Josh Reynolds as well, alongside of the obvious Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Goff doubles might be interesting this week, and we've seen some value on Carolina as well. Not going to really talk about Burrow. CJ Stroud has been fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. 2 touchdowns in each of the last 3 games, has hit the 300-yard bonus twice, challenged for it once against Jacksonville, now plays against Atlanta. He's got the ability to do stuff with his legs as well. He had a running touchdown called back this week against Pittsburgh. He's only 6K, and Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, you could even extend that to Bobby Trees if you want to. Plenty of options to go with. But you know who nobody even thinks about using in a tournament? Is Joshua Dobbs. My man is having himself a season. A top 6 quarterback again. He's 5,200. We need to find some value. It's not like Cincinnati has been good at stopping anybody, and Dobbs has this team playing awfully spry. The fact that they are utilizing him and deploying him with multiple designed runs a week now, knowing that they can't just run him out there as a drop back statue quarterback. That's not how they're going to win. We also have multiple options to go to in the Arizona pass game. We also are giving ourselves on this particular slate with 4 afternoon games the flexibility to late swap in this situation. Our secondary stack is a late swap if we miss what we're going to be on early, and our primary stack is a late swap. If you wanted to get a little bit more chalky in the afternoon, you could do that if this hits. Looking at his pass catchers, Marquise Brown is still flying under the radar. 17 DraftKings points on 10 targets, 17 DraftKings points on 7 targets, 16 and a half DraftKings points on 10 targets. Not one of those games has he gotten the bonus. He has snuck into the end zone 2 times so far. He has big playability that we know about and has been his thing forever, but he is getting massive volume. They always project to play from behind. They are 3.5 point underdogs in this one and playing at home, which is going to open up some value for us. But I'm not going to go with Marquise. I'm going to go with Michael Wilson, who has seen expanded routes and snaps. The rookie from Stanford with a massive breakout game last week is still only 3,700. Now, I'm not going to project another 2 touchdown game, but they only have 2 guys that have any size in that receiver room. Everybody else is diminutive. I've referred to them as the lollipop guild in the past. Like it's a 6 foot and under pass catching group with Rondale Moore and with Marquise Brown and with Greg Dortch, and Wilson at least gives them some size that they can go to around the red zone, and they have deployed him in that manner and used him in that way. And then I'm going to open up something that I don't always open up in this spot, and that's going to be 2 tight end, with Zach Ertz getting another double-digit target game. He's had the one woof game against Dallas where they played from ahead, and Dallas very good at defending the tight end position. 2-minute drill, safety blanket, always seems to be open, and they get around the red zone, and he's one of their bigger guys, bigger targets, one of the 2. Touchdown upside for Zach Ertz in this one. And then, as I said, I'm going to use Travis Kelce because he is essentially a glorified wide receiver, getting 9, 8, and 9 targets per game. And thankfully, Taylor Swift probably isn't going to be in Minnesota. Let's hope she's not there. Not because I'm against Taylor Swift. I don't want to rile up the Swiftie hive, but like, now the pressure is off. We don't have to force the ball to Travis. Travis doesn't have to worry about, am I doing this? Just be yourself. Get out there, do your thing, find your way back into the end zone, get yourself a 100-yard game against Minnesota, which is they just can't guard anything. And we'll open up the flex for Travis Kelce specifically this week. Now, what are we going to do to bring this back? On Cincinnati, we have a couple of ways that we can go. We have to find one of them. Okay. Now, there's not much. We know that Burrow and his leg are giving us problems. We can't afford Jamar Chase with this lineup build because he's 7,900 and we already spent all of our money elsewhere. So for this particular lineup, we cannot go with him. Tyler Boyd is 4,500. He should be pressed into some more usage. You down with the Croc Hunter? We could play the Croc Hunter. We could avoid it entirely. We could avoid this entirely and not have to go with the Croc Hunter. But like Joe Mixon against Arizona, playing from ahead, still should project to get about 20 opportunities in a game where there should be more targets to go around. Chat says, don't you do that. I'm going to go with Joe Mixon in this spot as the bring back play against Arizona, suspecting that they're going to play from ahead. Extra targets potentially out there because of the injury to T. Higgins, who fractured a rib. He could miss some time. That will open things up on the offensive side. If we get news as the week goes along for who that stand-in wide receiver is going to be to eat up all those routes and targets, it could be Tyler Boyd. That could be the easiest route. He has seen 24 targets the last 3 games, and he could just be fine at 4,500 and the way that everybody wants to go. But I'm going to go with a higher volume running back in that spot. And let's take a look around here. There's my single stack. Or sorry, my secondary stack and my double stack bring back. We're left with 4,700 and change per player to go around. Saquon Barkley, still doubtful, may or may not play Monday night. We'll find out. Talked about Henry, or talked about Indianapolis and how they're a team that we want to look for stuff. We had a return to form for Derrick Henry this week and even threw for a touchdown. So solid day for the big dog. Taylor could come back this week, or maybe he won't. I don't know. You guys can figure it out. I think Kyron Williams once again is going to be chalked. This is a $7,500 running back. And I know that Philadelphia is tough, but volume over everything, like all the time. 3 road games this year, 30 points against Indy, 8.5 against Cincinnati, 17.4 against Seattle, and played against San Francisco. This is not an easy schedule. Indy is a soft spot, but at Indy is not. Kyron Williams has done phenomenal this year and should be a 7,500 sort of guy. Couple of cheaper guys. Alvin Kamara got a boatload of targets in his first game back, 14 of them, only took 13 catches, 33 yards though. But PPR is a real thing in DraftKings scoring. And as long as Derek Carr can't throw the ball downfield, Kamara is going to get a good amount of targets. 14's absurd. I don't think that's going to repeat. I'm thinking more in the 5-6 range, especially if they either give him a rest with that shoulder or go to Winston, or his shoulder clears up and he's fine. I don't think we're going to see that. Most are going to take a step back. I think 13 opportunities for Devon Achane, 2 massive games. We saw Mostert's looked great as well. They were playing from behind and kind of had to abandon the run. They project to play from ahead in this one. The rumors are that Achane is going to be the primary back moving forward, and Mostert's going to be the 1B guy. We'll see what happens as that rolls along. David Montgomery at 6,600, not going to get very much usage in the passing game, but Carolina is a defense that we want to attack at 6,600. He is also very strong. There's a lot of running backs this week. I'm counting 5-box running back spots in Detroit, Indy, Miami, New England, and for the Broncos, who we kind of have to talk about really quickly at running back, because Javonte Williams suffered a hip injury, which is not uncommon for players returning from an injury to favor the rehabbing or coming back from leg and then you hurt the other leg or you hurt something else. He suffered a hip flexor injury. We'll see if he misses time. It says he isn't expected to miss much time, if any. If he plays this weekend, then we are not going to play Jaleel McLaughlin, who had a fantastic stand-in performance with 10 opportunities and over 100 yards from scrimmage yesterday. He's only 5K. If Javonte misses, then McLaughlin is going to be uber chalk at 5K, where everybody's going to be on it. So just I'm not using him in this lineup, but just know that he's there and a place that we could go for cover if we wanted to, which means that there's one place that I wanted to highlight, and that's Bijan Robinson. 7,700, while he's getting the usage specifically in the passing game. Ritter's bad, okay? I don't think I have to go too far with that. He's not good. It's to the point where Mac Hollins is treating him the way Melania treats Trump in public, where like he wouldn't shake his hand. Ritter came over to like give him 5 on the sideline, and he's like, he pushed his hand away. I was like, oh my God, that never happens. How in the world? But you do have a running back who's getting over 15% of the target market share in every single game so far from a bad quarterback. And with the amount that he is getting touches on the ground, the big playability that he has shown with a 38-yard run, a 29-yard catch, a 20-yard run in this game, the floor is ridiculous. The ceiling is off the charts. And at home against an extremely leaky Houston defense, I'm going to take advantage of this, what could be the last chance that we have to really get after that spot, to really get after Bijan Robinson into a lineup. Let's plug in a 3K defense just for average. It's the Saints against New England. Great. That's even better. Fantastic. That leaves us with 3,500 for a wide receiver. We have to find a little bit of value. Calvin Austin did not have a great game, did get 5 targets. If he doesn't reach value, he's not going to kill you. Justin Watson is your big upside guy, but you're not going to get any sort of floor. The player that I believe has the best floor ceiling combo for you in this range on Monday is Nick Westbrook-Akine. 6 targets in week 4 with the absence of Treylon Burks. He has been a fantastic spot to look for value. We have a good floor here. He's gotten used around the red zone often for this team, and is a great complement to somebody like Derrick Henry. Is never going to get double covered, has a little bit of juice, can get down the field, can do it for us in 1 catch, but the volume alone without a touchdown should be able to pay off this 3,500, and we do have 20-point upside as a standalone player in a dome against Indy. So the lineup is going to end up the Dobbs double with Wilson and Ertz. Bring it back with Joe Mixon. Bijan Robinson gives me a ton of volume in the running back position with massive touchdown upside and ceiling. Kelsey and Jefferson eating up the majority of our salary, and using the Saints defense to bring that back. So thank you guys for being here. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.
Rosie.